Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Brian Walker, and today, Kim is my co-host, and we're going to be talking about our favorite episodes of 2025. This will be the first podcast of 2026, and the purpose of this is to give you a list to go back and listen to if you haven't listened to any of these. But let's take a second and thank our sponsors. ShopBoss is software built by shop owners for shop owners. ShopBoss offers real solutions backed by real experience. Simply put, it's shop management software that works your way. When customers are in the lobby and cars are on the lift, you don't have time for a learning curve. That's where ShopBoss comes in, with profit-boosting features that work the way you need them to right out of the box. From built-in DVI to robust customizable reporting, ShopBoss makes everything about running a shop work more smoothly. Plus, with their Boss Pay Payments feature powered by 360 Payments, you can enter the era of totally paperless payments. From text-to-pay, remote payments, and consumer financing options, to compliance, surcharging, and now even offering PayPal and Venmo options. Everything is built right into ShopBoss. Plus, everything is backed by a fantastic support team with one goal in mind: your success. Be the boss with ShopBoss. Independent auto repair shops, get ready to transform your business with AppFueled. It's time for your professional auto service shop to have its own customer loyalty app. AppFueled will build an app that launches a custom loyalty program for your shop in 30 days or less, fully integrated with your point of sale system. Bring Fortune 500 level customer retention strategies to your business without the Fortune 500 budget. Many shops are enjoying the benefits. Our app engages your customers with a loyalty ladder, enticing them to climb the next rung, coming back more often and spending more each visit, all with your own app. Build loyalty with your customers to your brand and boost your shop's growth. Get your first app in 30 days or less, all without breaking the bank. Ready to start? Let AppFueled take your business to the next level. Go to appfueled.com or meet founder Jeremy Glasgow and book your complimentary app vision session at appfueled.com/Jeremy. That's appfueled.com/Jeremy. Well, hey, Kim.
Hey, Brian. This is our first time doing this in person together.
In quite a long time.
In a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe a year.
Yep. So we are going to be going through our favorite podcast. We'll just let you start off. What was your favorite podcast in 2025? Your favorite episode?
Well, first I want to say that I think it's interesting looking at mine compared to yours. Mine are, I would say, very like community and like safety, security. It's just interesting to me how they got picked that way. These, I picked 5, Brian picked 5. So I'm going to first talk about the one that came as a result of Vision this past year, right? Mm-hmm. Brittany Hodak was the speaker this past Vision.
I think
so.
Yeah.
So when we were at Vision, she was there for the Friday management lunch, and I was teaching a loyalty class the very next day. And so listening to her, I was going, oh my God, everything she's saying is in my class. So I just fell in love. She was very energetic and kind of quirky and fun. And so I reached out to Brittany through her team and got her on the podcast. It was several months, I think, after. But it's episode number 156, where Brittany kind of broke apart a little bit for us. You know, she had a little bit longer to talk on stage, but we had a good conversation about creating super fans. So I've always talked about raving fans. That's the book that we read when we had our shop, and
so
she has
I
a
have
different
never
take
left
on that.
the studio during a live podcast.
Oh my.
But
what is he doing? I don't know what he's doing. This is out of control. Oh, right, of course. Look at him going to grab the book.
Yep.
Amazing. I'm glad you grabbed that
And
because
I just sat on my iPad.
he just sat on his iPad in my new podcast setup. So this book, by the way, you should definitely buy the book. It really is very good. She goes into lots of great examples, and we talk about them on the podcast. But this book, oh.
That's right. It's signed.
Brian, You are super, Brittany Hodak. It is beautifully designed. She has all these amazing pages. I just loved her energy, her professionalism, her examples.
But what's the overall idea of the book?
That's what I was saying. It's creating super fans. And she breaks, I'm not going to do it because we're talking about 10 podcasts, but she breaks super down into an acronym. And then she also has a program that our customer success managers went through Brittany's program. So it talks about creating loyalty and just creating experiences with and for your clients so that when they leave, they're not thinking about anybody else. It's just literally about being super and moving beyond transactions. And I know that's a lot of talk in the industry about the transactional type of mindset when it comes to customers or the relationship and the experience. So she was just really fun and engaging, and I really just loved our podcast with her.
All right. So my favorite, and you know what, I'm saying favorite. Okay, all 5 of them. I didn't actually rank them like in,
Mine aren't
as
yeah.
a favorite. And there's actually a lot of episodes. Like this was hard to do, to pick just 5 out of all of the episodes that were recorded. I mean, it's 52
Yes.
episodes in 2025. But my number 1 that I'm going to talk about was actually 12 different episodes. And
I don't
what
know
it
that
was,
that's fair.
what it was Caroline and I broke down each month. And each month we did an episode that was for the month that was coming about 2 months out.
So you can plan ahead.
And it was about preparing for your marketing during that month. So you'll actually have to go all the way back into 2024 to get the first couple of episodes. But we did a episode for each month, and we talked about the things that you should be thinking about in your marketing. We talked about all of those crazy days of the year that you can use in your marketing and all of those things. So that's my number 1. Like I said, there's 12 different episodes. And if you go to our podcast page, there's a link to go to a page that'll take you to all 12 of those episodes.
So it's preparing for January's marketing, preparing for February's marketing.
Yeah.
They're all named the same. You just change the month. So you literally could go to our podcast page on our website and just do a search for preparing for, or even the month. You could just type in February.
Yep.
And
if you
it'll
type
come
in
up.
the name of the month. And the way that we did it, we intended for you to be doing it about 2 months ahead of time. So it's January right now. You should be looking at March.
Oh, 2 months. I thought okay.
Yeah,
Even
so
better.
you could be looking at February. It's just that you're probably going to be rushing for some of those things. So the intention is get about 2 months ahead on them.
Okay, so Brian set a standard, and now I'm going to leave the podcast studio for just one quick second. It's right here.
So we've never done this ever, and now it's happening twice
I know.
in the same episode.
And I
except that
literally-
Kim can't find
Oh,
what she's
here it
looking
is.
for. Okay.
All right, so since Brian had show and tell, I have show and tell. Ben Tilson. Okay, so another thing mine is book people.
Yeah.
Interesting. So episode number 162, Write a Children's Book with Ben Tilson. So he has his shop in Rochester, Minnesota, and actually he has 2 books out now, and I think they're working on a 3rd. So this very cute little book, Technician Colton's 10 Steps to an Oil Change. And if I remember correctly, Colton is his nephew. And it looks like him in the book. And then the other book that they wrote is Ben's daughter. So it's the kids in their family. Mm-hmm. And this book goes through essentially like how to do an oil change, and it talks about that. But he said he really did it just more for like fun in the community, and I think sort of a legacy to their kids. But we just looked at creative storytelling. We talked about the process of writing the book and just what it's been like in their community and in their family, and the kids think it's fun. And it was really more of a passion kind of project, but it's becoming this whole thing with them having multiple books in the in the queue. It is on Etsy, I think. So if you go to episode number 162, we have a link to, I think, his Etsy store where you can go buy the book. But he didn't complicate it. I love that. So many people overcomplicate things. But I think that you'll really like the idea of what he was doing there. And also, he talks in the podcast about just what people are saying about it, what he does with the book, who he gives the books to, like what the plan is. So don't think that it's impossible to do. And if you...
Oh gosh, it's even, I mean, now it's like a cheat code, because when he did this, they actually wrote this book and illustrated it and everything. You could have AI do everything for you now, from writing the book to illustrating it and everything.
Well, you know what I love about it too? In a very interesting, weird kind of, not weird, but just different kind of way, this book is recruiting future technicians into the industry.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways to unpack this, but it was a fun conversation with Ben. So I hope y'all go take a listen to episode 162.
Yeah. All right. So my second one is episode number 140. And the title of this episode is Your Body is Your Business Card. And I had my coach, my health and nutrition coach, Mauro Stara. And if you can look him up on Facebook, MaurOStara. He has a company called Six Pack CEO, and I'm a raving fan of Mauro and his company and his team, because I have watched so many transformations happen inside of that group. Whereas I've been, in other health and fitness things previously and really seen a complete lack of results. Whereas this one is just result after result after result. But the idea of this episode, it goes back to that, how you do anything is how you do everything. And when people look at you and they can see that you have success in your health and your fitness, then they will automatically think that you are more successful in your business. And, if you equate that, so you as a shop owner, if you have two technicians and you know nothing about them at all, and you look at one of them who is fit, neat, put together, and another one who is not fit and a slob, what are you going to think about the work that they do? And it could be completely different. The one who looks like a slob might be an absolutely amazing tech, whereas the guy who appears to be put together could be a hack. But people, it's
the perspective.
It's the first impression, So, and that's not the reason that you want to prioritize your health, but it's not a bad thing. And I've experienced it so much over the last couple of years as I have improved my health and fitness and seen the difference in the way that people react to me, the difference in the way that they talk to me.
Well, I was going to say, you would say this, you were that technician that looked sloppy, but were brilliant and did a great job. But it's people don't know that until they know you, but it is that first impression. People are going to judge, and we've both felt it. And then from being public speakers and being in whatever room you're in, whether it's a professional room or what, we've both felt and experienced the difference.
But it even goes past the perception, in that when you prioritize your health, you start showing up in the other places in your life. As I have gotten healthier, I feel like I'm a better business person.
You were saying that, that's not the reason you do it, and it's not. But one reason that you do it is your family. It has made a difference for both of us in our relationship. But our son, who's 23, he has talked to us about how he's watched our journey, our ups and downs from entrepreneurship, but specifically about the health and fitness part of it, the struggles, the journey, and just how it's impacted him and how it taught him to do this and not do that. And so I think, and I love the title of I don't think I ever knew that was the title of the episode.
Yeah, Your Body is Your Business Card. So two things with that. Go listen to it, episode 140. And by the way, all of these, if you go to shopmarketingpros.com/ whatever the number is, so in this case, shopmarketingpros.com/140, that'll take you right to the episode. And of course, that's going to take you to our website. Now, on each one of those pages is a link out to Spotify or iTunes or something like that. But you can also just search for Your Body is Your Business Card on Spotify, or search for the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast and scroll down to episode 140.
And I just want to say one more thing about Morrow. Even though I personally don't know him, he's not my coach, he's Brian's coach. And we're not pushing you to hire Morrow. You can.
Oh, I'll push you to hire him.
It's definitely been, this is what I was going to say, is Brian's been through a variety of coaches in a variety of topics. As far as the health, physical area, Morrow has been by far the most successful with Brian, but with other people too. And I think it has a lot to do, and more than anything else, to do with the accountability piece.
Yep.
Like, I know that he and your actual coach, like Morrow owns the business, but he's messaging you, but your actual coach.
Yeah, my coach is Raul, and Raul is amazing.
But they are both just like, they know the milestones coming up. They're constantly on you.
Constantly.
There's no,
like right now, so I've essentially taken 6 months and just been holding steady. And the reason why is I had skin removal surgery because I lost so much weight, and I needed to give my body lots of calories during that time to recover. So now, actually, January 5th, 2 days,
3 days,
3
Monday.
days from when we're recording this, I go back into a cut. That'll be 6 months from my surgery. I go back into a cut, and my son graduates in May, and he and I have a deal going that both he and I are showing up to his graduation with 6-pack abs.
And I promise you that Raul and Morrow know that, and they are going to be hot on it. So anyway, let's move on. I don't personally know Morrow, but
I do want to say one other thing. Chris Cotton uses Morrow, and Chris has had amazing success working with him. So if you listen to the Weekly Blitz with Chris Cotton, he's working with Morrow. And I don't have this other person's permission to say it, but there's a shop owner and a client of ours who has started working with him. I don't know
who you're talking about, so.
I have no idea. He just started working with him probably a month ago, so I don't know the results that he's getting yet.
Well, we're making the industry healthier.
Yep. All right.
Again. All right, it's my turn.
Yeah.
All right, so my next favorite podcast from 2025 is episode number 166, the ROI of kindness, how giving creates growth in your business. And this was a podcast with Christina Beverly from Harrell and Beverly Transmission. They are down in Florida, or over in Florida, I guess, depends on where you are. And that podcast took a turn that I kind of knew it was going to take, but I didn't know that it was going to become such a big part of the episode. And it was where she opened up about her health history, and we dug into that and how that played into the company culture and generosity and kindness and giving and all the things that they do there at their shop. And they're a multi-generational shop, but it was a moving, kind of emotional episode for me because I was unexpected, but she just really opened up and shared a lot about the family history of their business and a campaign that they did. We also connected on the fact of EOS. So it was a really powerful episode. So I really recommend everybody go, especially at the beginning of the year. She will really inspire you to put some things in place this year when it comes to whether it's events, or they did Amazon wish lists as well with teachers, and it's ingrained in who they are as a shop and the way that they take care of people. So that's why it was my favorite one.
All right, so my number 3 was you're not spending enough money on marketing.
That sounds
imagine that.
Very marketing-ish.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm biased when I say that, and maybe I am, but
it was Parker Branch.
Parker Branch was my guest on this episode. We recorded this sitting at Vision, There might be a little background noise in that episode, but we were sitting out in the main area at Vision, where people were walking in and out of the trade show. And we had just come off of the Institute Summit. And at the summit, they had given out awards for profitability. And Parker's
all kinds
shop
of awards, but
was the most profitable, and I'm not going to say the number, but it was the most profitable shop in all of the Institute for Automotive Business Excellence.
Which is a lot. They have a lot of clients.
It's not a coincidence that Parker is always telling us, he's like, if there's something else I need to be doing, let me know. I will spend more. Like he tells us that.
And he has
all the
been.
time.
I mean, we've reached out to him. Well, Parker is on our customer advisory panel. And we've reached out to him for a couple of different things. Hey, do you want to try this?
Yeah.
And he's always early adopter.
So on that episode, you get to hear straight from Parker how he feels about that, and most profitable shop award. So
well, and I mean,
doing
that's
something right. They do a lot of things right.
They do a lot of things right.
It's not just the marketing.
We do a lot of marketing for them,
Yeah.
but they're doing a lot of things. Parker is not afraid to delegate things. He's not someone who tries to like micromanage and take over everything and let me do it. He's very smart. He's very strategic. And I know which we're not going to really talk about, but with our Google hack situation, his ads were off. That was a big...
It's coming up. We're going to be talking about that in detail.
Thing. I mean, we understand... Anyway, we could go off on a whole tangent there, but Parker and Daniel, we can't not talk about Daniel, right? I think Parker would say, I can't do it without Daniel. So
absolutely.
The two of them, their whole team, big operation. We've been to their shop. They're just doing the right things.
Yeah.
Definitely somebody to watch. Okay, I'm next. So this one, oh my gosh. So Betty...
Oh, wait, hang on. I don't think I said the episode number. That was episode number 146 with Parker Branch. So
right.
shopmarketingpros.com/146. Okay,
that's right.
Go.
Yeah. Mine next one is episode 171. Backpacks, car shows, and big hearts, marketing that matters. And this was with Betty from Greg Smith Automotive, also in Florida. Gainesville, maybe? Are they in Gainesville? No. I forget the city they're in.
I'll look it up.
Greg Smith Automotive. And I say Betty Borges, but I think her Facebook name is different. And yeah, it's Betty Borges, but I call her by her maiden name for
Bellevue, Florida.
Yeah, Bellevue, Florida. Here's the thing. Betty took our classes, I think it goes back to Vision several years ago. And it's where I no matter what class I teach, I'm always talking about community involvement and all these different things. And that's her job. Her job at the shop is what my job was at the shop. Like she doesn't do this and this and this and this. Betty does marketing. And she's hyper involved just like I was. And she approached me at, I think it might have been, I don't know what event it was, a year or so ago. And she came in and came straight to me and she hugged me and she was telling me how much I impacted her and encouraged her to really jump into all the community stuff. And it took me by surprise. I was really shocked. And so we became friends on Facebook and I started seeing all the stuff she was doing and I was messaging her this is great. Oh my gosh. They do a lot, but one thing we talked about in great detail was the school supply, the kids' school supplies drive that they did at their shop. They started and did it one year, and then the next year they went really big. And she talks in great detail about the planning for it and how they got this great PR exposure. Now, I want to say, again, we were at an Institute event, and she's an Institute client, and they had a video of her up on the screen, and our podcast was coming out right. I think we had just recorded it, and I was like, I just recorded this podcast with her, and so it was kind of all at the same time. But she's just really if we had our shop open today, I would be Betty. I'd be doing the same thing that Betty's doing. And she's just done a beautiful job of pulling the community together. She actually had the backpack drive with the school supplies and everything. And then she created an assembly line. She included the Chamber of Commerce.
Don't redo the podcast.
They came out. He said I'm doing the whole podcast.
They gotta go
so you gotta listen.
They gotta go listen.
You gotta listen. I guess I gotta just tease you. So episode 171, backpacks, car shows, and big hearts, marketing that matters.
All right. My next one is episode 176, reigniting the passion, how Larry Anderson keeps the joy in work.
Oh, wow.
And I almost didn't do this one because, it wasn't something where, like, when I was going into this episode, it was like, okay, we're going to be talking about marketing or even like tips that you can take away to go make your business better or anything. I just wanted to record an episode with Larry because I
think you have a crush on Larry. It's like a
bro crush.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe so. Larry.
Well, he's a Jeep guy, and
he is one of the most talented people that I've ever seen. He's that guy that can do absolutely anything, and he's big into off-roading, and which I am as well. And he does all of the fabrication and all of that. I just saw something on his Facebook a few minutes before we started recording this episode where he got his mill going. He got a CNC mill that he rebuilt. So like he does machine work and all of the welding and tube bending and all of these things. And I've, for years I've been following him and watching his work, and everything that I see is just done so well. And I'm like, man, I want to have Larry on to talk about this because I see so many shop owners that they got into this business because they loved cars. And then their hobby becomes their work.
Yeah.
And they completely lose the passion for it. And Larry has been able to keep that passion, and just, it seems like he just gets better and better and better at what he's doing. And he does 3D printing and all kind of, the guy never stops.
Yeah.
But I had him on to talk about how he's kept the passion for all of these things. So, if you're the shop owner that needs the motivation to get back into a hobby or something, it's a great episode to go listen to. And Larry's just a cool guy to go check out his Facebook and see all the stuff that he's doing. So that was episode number 176.
All right. My last one is kind of what I alluded to when I was telling you.
I left this one for you, by
just
the way.
The feeling of the female choices versus the male choices, I guess. I don't know, but I don't want to speak for all women, but I think many women, nobody can argue with that. Many women just want to feel safe and secure and taken care of, and somebody's going to get offended by that.
No,
but,
that's a proven. That is a proven thing that the number one thing that women look for. And of course there are women that this is not the most important thing to them, but across the board is safety and security.
Yep.
And this has been like in relationship studies and stuff that
Right.
they've done. Women want to feel safe and secure. Men want to feel respected.
So for me, this year, 2025, it was episode number 183, which is kind of fresh. It's only been, I think it came out in November or December, but it was preparing for the unexpected with Darren and Ginger Barney. And we're super close friends with Darren and Ginger. They are just amazing people. They run an incredible shop in Colorado, and of course Elite Worldwide, the coaching company, which we are great friends with them. We're friends with lots of coaches in the industry. But Ginger and I both lost our moms in January. Kimberly lost her mom as well, right? And was that same time?
I think
Hers might have been December. Anyway, all around the same time. And then Brian lost his mom this year. And we had been talking with Darren and Ginger about putting this together. For some reason, we kept having to reschedule it. We had to reschedule it, then they had to reschedule, but we finally got it together. And when we did it, it was just a really powerful conversation. We referenced our industry friend who passed away suddenly, and we did a podcast with him
Newton.
as well, right? Malin Newton. And of course, we turned off the alarms, but I have one going off. So this podcast really broke down. I think I may have cried in that episode, but just what every shop owner has got to hear, and they've got to, we've put the message out there multiple times, and we still have people who are like, oh, I'm going to get around to that. Oh, I'm going to get around to that. Oh, I'll do that. I need to do that. And then they never do it. So we're talking about resilience, preparing, creating the steps and the plans.
To your shop if something happened to you.
Yeah.
And it could be your death, or it could be a heart attack. In Malin's case, a stroke while he was riding his motorcycle. Yeah. Not when he passed away just recently.
Right,
that had happened years before that, and sent Malin on a quest to make shop owners prepared, so that if something like this happens, that there's continuity in the business.
Well, and so you think about, like, we actually count up the number of mouths fed because of Shop Marketing Pros. Currently, the number is 177, and I think we're actually missing 2 people, actually.
Yeah, because you've just done some hiring.
Well, we've done some hiring, but some babies have been had. And so I think that we need to update that, and it'll be updated probably Monday. But the point is 177 mouths are fed because of the work that is done at Shop Marketing Pros. That's just the employees that work here and the people who live in their home with them.
Yeah, that's not even including the leads that we're driving to businesses.
Right.
And their employees and all that.
And so if Brian, as the leader of this company, something happens to him, what's going to happen? Well, we have it together. Brian did an incredible job putting, and I'm going into the podcast again, but it's irresponsible. We joke and laugh about how really young people like our son or teenagers think they're invincible, and they think nothing's going to ever happen to them. But grown adults who run a business who do not have a plan in place have the same mentality as a teenager who thinks that nothing's going to ever happen to them. And it's irresponsible to not have a plan. So as you're listening to this episode, hopefully probably early 2026, you got to put it on the calendar and get it done. And you can do that by starting to listen to episode number 183, Preparing for the Unexpected with Darren and Ginger Barney.
Yep. And honestly, I think that may be the very last episode that came out. I think 183 was the last episode of 2025. My last one is episode number 181 with Kelly McCart. And the title of the episode was From Invisible to Unmissable, How McCart's Auto Center Stands Out. And the story on this one goes back probably 4 years now. I was reading Ratchet and Wrench magazine, and they had done a feature article on McCart's Automotive where they had done a complete makeover of their shop. And it was an exterior makeover, interior makeover, brand makeover, all of it. And they went from this beige building that just blended in, that nobody saw when they drove by, to this beautiful building. And Kelly tells the story on this episode of why they did it, how they went about doing it, and the impact that it's had on the business, which is pretty incredible. So that is definitely a great one to go listen to, episode number 181. So shopmarketingpros.com/181. So,
all right. That's our top 10 of 2025.
Yep. And it's going to just seem like tomorrow we'll probably be here doing the top 10 of 2026 because, man, did that year fly by.
Yep.
Anyway, thank you all for listening in. Go listen to some of these episodes. I'm sure that something that we talked about today stood out to you. Go listen to it, and go download the app. If you haven't downloaded the new Automotive Repair Podcast Network app, they did a really good job. with that app.
Yeah,
And
kudos, Carmen, Tracy. It really is super cool.
you get all of the ARPN
The whole network,
podcasts,
all of them.
in this one app. You can save your favorite episodes. It's done really well. So go check that out. You can download it, and you can access all of the podcasts at automotiverepairpodcastnetwork.com. And hope that you'll listen in again next week. And until then, go fill those bays, and Happy New Year.